Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. And just before we get into the video, a couple of little bits of housekeeping to do. If you notice that this video might look different or sound different, or is just generally different, I've basically upgraded my phone, so I'm sort of trying to get used to the setup, the camera setup. It might change over the next couple of weeks in terms of um, how the camera is set up because I'm still figuring out the phone itself. Um, so yeah, it's just a little FYI, just in case you notice something's different. I'm hoping the quality's better. I think it's a better phone. It should be a better camera. But obviously, I will only know when I sort of see it back. But if there are any issues on anybody's side, let me know because I can always try and tweak it and whatnot. Yeah, and hopefully you get to look at my glorious face in much better quality because who wouldn't want that? Especially after watching some absolutely awful performances from Spurs over the last couple of weeks. And speaking of which, let's segue in. That was a really nice TV style segue. Let's go into the Spurs match. Full time result: Brentford nil, Tottenham nil. Um, just it's so poor, man. I'm not joking. It's got to be the least I've wrote for about maybe 6 or 7 weeks. As you guys know, I've got my notepad. I fill it usually. Usually struggling to get it all in. Um, Apparently, my mind is that of a child as well. Um, anyway, yeah, basically, what can I say? I'll have my rant towards the end of the video, as you know. But let's just go through the match. So starting lineup: Sessegnon at left back or left wing back over Region, who was on the bench, but I've heard has an injury. Don't know if he's fit enough to play. He was on the bench, but I don't know. But yeah, good to see Sessegnon back because I thought he was, as you guys know, I've said it numerous weeks. I thought he was having a really good, run of form under Conte for his injury, which was a massive shame. And Eriksson. We'll talk about Christian Eriksson towards the end of the game, but obviously very very good to see him playing against us. He didn't fulfil my prophecy that I said last week. I thought he was going to score against us. Luckily, he didn't. Came very close, very close. But it was a good start by Brentford, really. Having many corners. They have 3 corners that all made their way to Ivan Toney, completely unmarked as well, which was very frustrating to see. I've got to say, I don't know if it's I can only comment of what I saw when Eriksson was at Spurs, but a constant thing we found to be problematic with Eriksson, especially in the last year, the last year that he was at Spurs, absolutely terrible for this. Corners wouldn't get past the first man. They wouldn't. I remember we'd have games where we'd, trying to get a result and we get a corner in the 90th minute and it hits the first man and we don't get anything from it. Corners are way better from Eriksson from what I saw. Floating them in, causing so many problems as well. Really good to see for him. Yeah, big improvement from when he was with us. I thought Kane was struggling today, just in general, but I wrote in the first half, struggling a lot. He's not doing his dropping deep thing that he does to set Sonny or Decky off on their runs. His passing, the passing that I've highlighted so much, way more than Sky, as I have to always point out. It's not, it's not, nothing's there at the minute. Nothing's clicking. There's no passing. There's no hardly any shooting. Yeah, I don't know. He's not even carrying the ball anymore. It's really been poor from Kane the last 2 weeks. He didn't score in the Villa game or the Newcastle game, of which we scored 9 goals, but he still had a massive contribution in those games. These games, nothing, no contribution whatsoever. Um, really, he had a couple of shots, but really, as far as Kane standards go, very poor, very poor. And I thought just he was being out muscled a lot as well. Fair play to Brentford as well. Like they were on him like the whole match, not giving him an ounce of room, making sure that they cut anything out, cut any opportunities out. I'm really sorry as well. I've just realised the sun is absolutely shining through, and I've just looked at myself on the camera, and I've gone like a ghostly white, like pale sort of thing. But it's not that bad. I'm just saying. I apologise. Um, anyway, Brentford, they hit the bar. They hit the bar. I thought it was a really save from Lloris initially, but it hit the bar. And then we had an injury worry with Lloris, and I was like, oh no, that's all we need. And I thought it was actually a little bit reminiscent of when he dislocated his elbow or broke his elbow against Brighton a couple of seasons ago, and he was out for a long time with that. Luckily, it wasn't anything serious. 20 minutes in, we'd had 0 shots and 0 shots on target, obviously. It's like the Nuno days are trying to like claw their way back in, like really trying to like, come on, remember us, remember how timid we were in front of the goal. Can we come back? Oh god, it's so poor. And flat, they were flat. It's like bloody Pancake FC at the minute with Spurs. The last 2 games have been flat, 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 flat. Is poor. There's no excitement, nothing building. Um, just poor. It's really, really bad. Second half, a little bit of pressure finally. Not that it really amounted to anything. Spurs were just going forward a little bit more, but I would have expected that. I would have expected Conte to rip into them at half time. I would have expected more intensity from the team coming out of that, that terrible first half performance where they were just poor. They were just so like low. Just nothing. There was no urgency, no what was the word I just used? Intensity, nothing about them. It was just poor. And again, I have to say, as I always say, again, if you're new to the channel, I'll introduce you to the rules. If a team has been playing better and deserves the praise, I will absolutely praise the team for doing so. If Spurs have played better and come up, not had a good result in the end, I say things how they are on the channel. I'll critique Spurs when they need critiquing, because rightfully so, and I'll praise them when they deserve to be praised. And same with the opposition. I'll praise opposition, even if it's Arsenal or West Ham or Chelsea or whatever. I'll praise them for being a better team. Do I get any satisfaction from it? Absolutely not. But you've got to be honest. And I will be again today. And I thought Brentford were brilliant. And to be honest, I thought they kind of really deserved the win. I thought they created more chances. They seem better organised. Defensively, they're really well organised. Like I said a minute ago, keeping Kane in check really most of the match. And going forward, just unlucky. Yeah, I thought they were a better team. And for all my criticisms of Spurs in this video, don't get that confused with how impressed I was with Brentford. Kane, speaking of Brentford attacking, Kane got a shot off the line, and then Lloris, it might have been Tony, I can't remember, but it was another corner. Was that a corner or a free kick? I can't remember, but Kane headed it off the line doing his defensive duties. And Lloris then saved like the rebound from it came out to Eriksson, who had a shot, nearly scored. Luckily, Lloris was there to block it. Still flat. And then what did we do? We brought Davinson Sanchez on. And I understand the logic of the substitution, because Sessegnon wasn't having a good game, so Conte moved Davies out to the left wing back position and stuck Sanchez, in his position. It's just not the substitution I would have made to change the game. It really isn't. I didn't really understand it. I mean, I've got not a great, amount of faith in Davinson Sanchez defensively anyway. But I was just like, what are we doing? Maybe it was a message from Conte because he was so mad last week about the fact that Spurs weren't able to at least get a point from a game. If you can't win, don't lose it, sort of thing. The Spurs ended up losing it and not even getting a point out of that game. Maybe that was what they were trying to do. I don't know, but it was not a substitution that filled me with much enthusiasm that we were going to go on and get a win. I think was the only other sub we made was Lucas Moura. I don't think we even made 3 subs. Blimey. Lucas Moura came on as well. Didn't really have an impact on anything. I think it was too late as well. I think it was like 80 odd minutes. I'm not a fan of like late substitutions. I don't think, when you're trying to change the game and you're only allowing a player to do that in 10 minutes, I'm not telling Conte how to do his job at all. I'm just a guy on YouTube who sits on the sofa, writing about the Spurs and stuff and giving my opinion to YouTube. He's a world-class manager who's won a lot of trophies and obviously knows a lot more than me. So who am I really to question his managerial abilities? But I just thought, like, the subs that we made and the timings that we made them, I just was like, it just didn't give me any hope of a win. We got a free kick in the 88th minute, just on the edge of the box, just off to the right, so kind of not really sort of shooting distance, just with the angle of it. But we had Kulusevski and Sonny over it, and you're looking at it going, as I always say with these free kicks, whip it into the 6-yard box, whip it in there, a lot of pace, cause mayhem basically with that sort of ball. And what did they do? Sonny and to be honest, I would have rather had Kulusevski take it, because I think if you got him on the in-swinger, it will create more of a problem. And just I don't know. Sonny took it on his right foot, and it went straight into the keeper's arms. And I will get onto that in a second, but I don't know. I just feel like we're so rubbish at set pieces. Like, and there's a man in the Brentford team that might be able to help us, hopefully, in the summer. We'll see. But yeah, that was really poor. And then Ivan Toney hit the post, like on the 90th minute, header again, free header, hit the post. Spurs managed to get it clear. And then Kane had a chance to win it as well at the end, where he did like some scissor kick volley, bicycle kick volley thing, and it went just wide. It was the closest we came in the whole match, and it was like the most exciting moment of the match if you were a Spurs fan. But realistically, like, it was a poor performance. It really, really was. It was not good. Not good in terms of the reaction from last week. They were flat last week. They were poor. No shots on target. And again today, I don't think they had a shot on target. I don't think either today. I'm not sure. If they did, it was like 1 or 2, but I don't even think they did. Poor from everyone. I can't. I like to give man of the match, but I can't really. I think Lloris made some key saves. That's about it. No one stood out. Kane, quiet. Sonny, quiet. Kulusevski, quiet. Bentancur, quiet. Højbjerg, doing what he was doing, but quiet. Romero didn't, Dyer, I thought, had a poor game with distribution in particular. Sessegnon struggled, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt of his first game back since injury. Emerson Royal. We need to talk about Emerson Royal. I cannot tell you how frustrated I get, and I'm certain every other Spurs fan gets when they see the performances like that were today. And I'm fairly certain he got booed off as well. It was poor, giving the ball away, out of position. It's like Aurier 2.0 basically at the minute, and it's just, I just keep saying the word poor, but it is. I can't say it any other way, And I'm looking at this team, and I feel bad because they had a really good run of form for about 4 or 5 weeks. Where I was singing their praises, and rightfully so. They were playing really well, and even like that Villa performance, they had to dig in deep. I said it in the video, bite down on the whole gum shield sort of scenario, and get through a tough patch, and Villa peppered them in that game, and they got through it, and they got a 4-0 victory in the end, which was harsh on Villa, I will admit, but that they had that flair going forward, and it's just gone. It's just like it's completely gone, and I'm trying to work out where the blame lies with it, and I think everyone's culpable for it. I think big players need to step up. Your Kanes, your Sons, your Kulusevskis, Bentancur type players, they need to step up and they need to improve. These players need to drag you through these moments. Conversely, I think some blame has to lie with Conte. I think Spurs, in terms of game-changing subs and stuff, we've not been able to make much. Like I said today, the timings, the actual subs themselves, bringing Sanchez on, I don't know. I don't get it personally. Something needs to change. And to be honest, I'm disappointed in terms of the mentality because of no reaction, not only to last week, but to the Arsenal result. I mean, I watched that Arsenal game earlier, and I thought they were brilliant. I thought they had moments of weakness where I'm looking at them going, a better team would exploit them. No offense, Man United, but I think a better team would. If you put Man City or Liverpool in that situation, they would exploit some of the weaknesses that I saw in Arsenal. But I'm looking at Arsenal performance earlier, and I'm looking at our performance over the last 2 weeks, and it makes me worried about the North London derby in a couple of weeks. Now, form goes out the window in those games. We all know that. But, it's weird. And this race for the top four, it's going to keep going. I think Alan Smith, I can't even remember his name now. It's just absolutely gone out of my head. But on Sky said that literally this is how it's going to be. Arsenal are going to be losing to teams that they're not expected to lose against, and they're going to win against teams that they weren't expected to win against. Spurs the same. Spurs were expected to win Brighton and Brentford because they were easier on paper, and they've got 1 point from possible 6. Arsenal, however, had Chelsea and Man United, and they were probably expected to at least get 1 point from that, maybe a win against United, but they were certainly not expected to beat Chelsea, and they went there and won 4-2. It's just crazy, and it's going to stay like this. I think it's going to be very inconsistent, and the thing is, it's probably going to play into the hands of your Man U's or your West Ham's, because it's like the inconsistent. If Spurs and Arsenal keep being inconsistent, Arsenal lost to Crystal Palace, and then they lost to Southampton, and then Spurs were beating like Villa, and it looked like Arsenal had it, and then it looked like Man U had it, and then it looked like Spurs had it, and now Arsenal are back in it. Spurs are struggling. Man U look out of it. It's going to keep chopping and changing. So I'm not worried. I'm not going to come onto this video and go top 4 is over. It's gone. Not at all. But some serious improvement needs to be made for sure, and they can't continue like this. And they've got Leicester next Sunday, big match. Always a good game against Leicester. Obviously, the Steven Bergwijn heroics from a couple of months ago. Who can forget? Just need to see more attacking flair. They're so flat at the minute, and I don't know why, but something needs to change for sure. So if you've liked what you've seen, hit the subscribe button. I forgot to say, actually, I did allude to it earlier, and I've completely forgot to say, set piece. Spurs need someone who can take a bloody set piece. It's absolutely gone to the point of no return now. They don't have a free kick taker. They don't have a corner taker. I love Sonny, but we need a better corner taker. Free kicks, again, Sonny took it today. We need better. We need someone who can take a set piece. I don't even care if Eriksson joins in the summer and doesn't score a goal for us. If he could just set something up from a free kick or a corner, I'll be happy. We just need someone who can actually take a free kick. And I can't believe that we've got no one at the club who can. Is that a bit mental? I don't know. Is that a bit unbelievable to say that we've not got anyone who can take a free kick or a corner with any competence? Is maddening. Don't get me on started on the Harry Kane thing either, because he can't take free kicks. I don't know. maybe I'll put my hat in, throw my hat into the ring and see if they, I haven't played football for many years, but I'd like to think I can try. I can try and take a free kick. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Eriksson back in a Spurs shirt, considering how it all ended. Not terrible, but not. It wasn't like an amicable split, so to speak. I think Spurs did well to get the money off Inter Milan when they did. Um, it's weird how it all comes full circle, and I think a lot of Spurs fans, seeing how Eriksson's been playing for Brentford, would welcome him back. I certainly would. And ironically, I wanted him out back in that January window that we sold him. I was like, it's going to be better for everybody. His form had dropped for about a year and a half, 2 years at that point. He was not the same Eriksson that we had, and it was a different Eriksson to the one that Brentford have. He was not performing. I cannot stress that enough. For when you look back, he was not performing. But now seeing it, seeing how he is, and like obviously we have to look at the bigger picture as well. It is phenomenal to see Christian Eriksen playing football again, just playing football again, but to be doing it at the elite level of the Premier League. With Brentford, who are a really good team. I really like Brentford. I'm glad they hopefully should be staying up. I think they're safe. I really like them. I think there's such a fresh team to sort of see and do well in the Premier League, and I hope they have a good end to the season. I hope they have a really good season next season. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Eriksson back in a Spurs shirt in particular. But we have to acknowledge it's a wonderful sight, and I'm so happy for him and his family, and not to claim, not that Spurs fans are claiming anything to feel more than any other fan, but he spent a lot of time at the club, and he's close to a lot of Spurs fans' hearts, I think. So it was quite traumatizing to see what happened, in that tournament. So really good to see him back, and I thought he played really well today as well. I thought he was excellent, probably man of the match for Brentford, to be honest. If not man of the match, just in general. He's not going to be competing with any Tottenham players, is he? Really, I was like, better if we just didn't show up. But yeah, I thought Eriksson was brilliant today, and I think he's been fantastic since he joined Brentford, and it's just really great to see. So big shout out and respect to him for doing what he's doing. It's really remarkable. So I will see you guys in the next video. It'll be next Sunday. Like I said, Leicester at home. We need a big response. Will it happen? Probably not, but we'll see what happens. So I'll see you guys in that video. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and let me know if the video is okay and stuff. I'll try and check it out myself. But yeah, let me know if there are any issues or anything like that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, come on, you Spurs.